what diet works. And as I looked at the way people were going about I'm going to say plant source only, or what people would call vegan diet, I saw, wow, there are a lot of problems. Now, I have to be honest, these are the same things that the meat-eating people are pointing out. And what were the problems? So I'm in agreement. There are problems if you don't do it right. And one is that people were not getting, the vegan diet, as we're talking about, was very focused on low fat. Major problem, because you don't get enough omega-3s, you don't get enough cholesterol, and those are essential for hormone development, and essential for brain development, essential for the cell membranes, essential for all your neurotransmitters, all your neurotransmitter receptors. It's a big deal. And I saw that people were like, fanatical about low fat because it's going to raise your cholesterol, is like, we're not only scientifically inaccurate, but we're actually doing harm. So when I looked at it, one of the first things I saw is that, hey, we can't do that. We've got to have an adequate diet in your omega-3s and really adequate increasing cholesterol. Now, again, don't interpret it that I'm talking about animal agenda, because basically I want to make it very clear that my diet lifestyle is a spiritually focused lifestyle, which is about enhancing the flow of the Kundalini. So my diet is 99%, not 100%, but 99% live, organic, plant source only, organized to my constitution, organized, and this is a discussion didn't even get in there, to the stage of my life, and organized to the season. Made with love, high in minerals, because minerals are key. And I'm going to point out one of the other things we saw is everyone is deficient in minerals. Everybody keeps making it in a slanted way, and I'm going to include Kevin Gianni in this, indirectly, is if it's, plant source only people are deficient. That is absolutely not the case. Everyone is deficient. I want to point that out in a big way. Everyone is deficient in minerals. And how do I know that? Well, because I'm testing people, but better than that, 1936, the U.S. Congress said 99% of the public is mineral deficient. So it's not like it's like a no-brainer. So yeah, we made a big discovery that everyone should test. So, and I want to say that that's a big issue. And so my diet is very highly concentrated in minerals. And second thing is I have a lot of the fats, because we know in the long run, and we'll get into it in a minute more, about 40% fat is good, 25 to 40% fat, and mostly omega-3 fats, and it really works. Now that immediately brings me into conflict with the vegan conceptual doctors. I got a lot of conflicts with them, okay, but I'm going to stick with the fat for a moment. Because they're pushing, and some of it is well, they're really talking perhaps about animal fat, but they make it low fat for everybody. You can get results. If you have heart disease, you go on 10% low-fat diet like Pritikin and Edelstein talk about it, you will get results in a year or two. But it's not a long-term diet. We can't confuse a treatment diet with a long-term diet. Oh, it's a big deal. So I pointed this out in different vegan conferences, and the doctors are complete denial. They say, and I show the research, nuts and seeds, like 5 ounces a week, particularly walnuts, almonds, they're going to drop your LDLs, low-density lipoproteins, drop your triglycerides, and even lower your cholesterol a little bit. And the response from the doctors is, no, that's just because the nut and seed companies are financing the research. This is what I call denial. Serious denial. We can't have that in this discussion. But that's actually what they believe. They just didn't want to hear it. And then the second thing is my own research with the diabetics shows that we give them as much nuts and seeds as you need according to your constitution, and we have dramatic drops in the LDL, okay, low density lipoproteins. Our people in my research shows start out about 149, which is high, and end up at 82, which is really, really good. And that's in 3 weeks. So we know we dropped the LDLs. And so we really get good results. People do heal from diabetes. And in fact, if you just have 5 ounces of nuts a week, you're going to have 27% less onset of diabetes. That's pretty important. We can give lots of reasons we're not going to do that in this talk. So I'm meeting, this denial there, and obviously the meat eaters are applauding and very happy. You must be meat. No, remember, I'm a 99% live food, 100% organic, plant source only. So keep that in mind as I'm talking. And because my vision is whole person enlightenment, I really couldn't care less about the vegan argument and the meat eater argument. It's irrelevant to my purpose, which is whole person enlightenment. Okay, which does include a plant source diet. So I have a different agenda. I want to see everybody wake up and be healthy. So that's the idea of a low-fat diet. Now, one of the other things is that recommending a moderately high-fat diet, we do not see, which is what people are claiming, kind of the more fruitarian aspect of that. One of the doctors who was speaking, oh, you're going to get ketosis. We check it. I've been checking for 6 months people's, urine ketones, and we do not see a problem. We have not seen anyone, any normals, or actually only one diabetic who was type 1 had a ketosis. It just doesn't happen. I guess if you do extreme low carb, high fat, it's possible. But practically speaking, and this is another thing that throws off the whole discussion, people go to extreme examples as if it's regular. And I'm going to tell you, the meat eaters are doing the same thing, but in this case, it's the vegan doctors, because they are trying to defend their position rather than go with the position what's best for everybody. And that's actually why it worked with Mercola. We are the only two, believe it or not, who actually talk to each other. All the other people just gave their talks independent of each other. I find that fascinating. Why? Because our view is, how do we create a diet that's going to help heal, work to the highest. So we had an agenda. We weren't arguing meat. We weren't arguing, plant source only. We're saying what's the best.